Hi everybody, Steve from Steve's Makerspace here, and today we are doing something quite different than the usual. I'm going to be talking about how to make videos, how I make YouTube videos. There's going to be two parts to that. This is the first of two videos. The first part is getting ready to make videos and concepts. So I'm going to talk about branding, learning, ideas, equipment and software, and copyright. So the second video is going to be a step-by-step how do I actually go about making a single video. So look for that. That should be out already. So this video is going to be for people who are interested in getting started with YouTube, or people who want a sort of a behind-the-scenes look at my process, Steve's Makerspace, and how I make my videos. Now if you're an extroverted person, and people naturally laugh at what you say and are interested in being around you, you're going to have a better go at YouTube. It's going to be easier for you. Whereas if you're an introverted person like I am, you're going to have to work harder at it. You might be having to write a script, doing a lot of editing. Just know that going in, you can still make a go at YouTube. Let's start by talking about branding. So you're going to want a certain look and feel for your channel. You're going to want to make videos about something you enjoy. Don't make videos about something that's just popular that you don't actually enjoy. You want to have fun making your videos, and that's going to come through and engage your audience. You want your subject matter to be fairly contained, not be just everything that you like. You want to think about who this is for, your audience. My audience is 20-something males in America who like sandbox games. So when I know who my audience is, I can cater my language to that audience. I can think about what that audience wants to watch, think about what platforms that audience is communicating on, do they do Twitter, do they do Instagram, and communicate with them in that way. Your brand is also your personality, so allow your personality to shine through into your videos, and that's going to be part of why people watch the channel, because they like your personality. It doesn't have to be right away, but at some point you're going to want a logo for your channel. You'll want a look and feel, a certain color scheme, a certain font that you use, a certain beginning intro to your channel that you repeat each time, a certain outro. So think about that and what that's going to be for you. You'll need a name for your channel. A lot of YouTubers will use some kind of screen name that they've made up. It might be a combination of a couple of words or a made-up word. It should be unique. You don't want to use like Michael Smith. There's just dozens of Michael Smith YouTube channels. You don't want it to be just summer vacations. I'm sure there are dozens of YouTube channels called summer vacations. But you also don't want it to be really hard to spell, because you want people to be able to look up your YouTube channel, and so it should be easily typed. Now, learning how to make videos is a lifelong process. When you're doing a YouTube video, you are your own production studio. So you're doing writing, editing, cinematography, storytelling, acting, marketing, basically anything you can think of that goes into producing a YouTube channel. You've got to do it yourself when you're starting off, and all of that requires a lot of learning. You've also got to learn how to use all the technology, so learning how to edit, learning about all the different equipment that you're using. So there's a lot to learn. So some of the resources you'll want to use are on YouTube, of course. There's vidIQ, this Derral Eves, Gaming Careers, TubeBuddy, video creators, video influencers, YouTube creators, and then the MasterClass, which is not YouTube, but I find this is a paid subscription that I have. They've got this film and TV, and these are famous people talking about how they go about making things, like Spike Lee is here, Ron Howard. That was a really good class. So anything you can learn about how to make good videos and how to get more views and how to get more subs and all that stuff, there's plenty of resources available for you. I would also say, as you're creating your channel, think about what your goals are. Do you just want to have a hobby? Do you want to be creative? Do you want to actually try to make a living out of doing YouTube? So yeah, have some clear goals in mind. You don't have to try to make a career out of YouTube. You can just do it out of sheer enjoyment. But I think having goals helps you figure out how you're going to go about making your YouTube videos. If you can find other YouTubers who are already doing something similar to what you want to do, it's a good idea to study them, to see how they go about doing that, and look and compare the different YouTubers. What do they have in common? How are they all doing things alike, or are there differences between how they do things, so you know what you should be doing, because their audience is going to be your audience. Now, it doesn't mean you're trying to copy another YouTuber. It's just some aspect, like maybe all the good YouTubers are doing face cam, and so, oh, okay, you want to do face cam. Doing collaborations is a good way to build a YouTube channel. Don't expect large YouTubers to want to collaborate with you. You're going to have to find YouTube channels that have similar sizes to what you have. You can go a little bit bigger. Say if you have 300 subscribers, you can ask someone with 600 subscribers to collaborate with you, but you know, somebody with 10,000 subs is probably not going to want to collaborate with somebody with only 300 subs, because you're not bringing anything to the table for them. But I think the best way to learn is by doing. So actually creating the video content, even if you decide not to put your first video on YouTube and just stick it in a can because it's so bad. But it's never going to be perfect, especially when you're just starting out. And putting it out there, getting some feedback is really important. So just make videos, and that's the best way to learn. And next I want to talk about ideas for videos. So my ideas come from different ways. I might have a particular concept I want to talk about in a video. I might have a particular build that I've been working on in a game that I want to show off, and I might need to explain parts of it because I'm dealing with logic or something in the build. Ideas will often come to me at odd hours, and I'll be writing things down. I keep a notebook next to my bed so I can write things down. Ideas sometimes morph, so I start with one idea and then it gradually changes into some other concept. And so then I might need to go back and rework the entire video to make it fit what it's turned into. You have to be not shy about cutting things. Sometimes if it just doesn't fit in with the overall scheme of the video, you might need to cut it, and that's okay. Even if it's good stuff, sometimes it hurts to cut, but you have to do that. Sometimes my idea will grow as I'm exploring it, and sometimes it becomes two things instead of one thing. And then if your idea becomes two things instead of one thing, then you probably want to split that into two different videos. That happened with this video. I wanted to do a video about how I make videos step by step, and I realized, oh, there's all of this other stuff that comes before that. I want to talk about that. And then I realized, wait, this is two different videos. I can't try to cram all of that into one video. Kind of a similar subject is how long a video should be. I would look at what other YouTubers who are producing similar videos to yours, how long their videos are when you're first starting out. Are they 10-minute videos? Especially if they're like it's an educational subject matter, then 10 minutes is probably a good length. Whereas if you're doing a gaming video, maybe it's 15 minutes. Think about how much time are the people who are watching willing to spend. If you're doing videos for people who are working, they might have less time to spend watching your videos, whereas somebody who's going to school is going to have more time to watch videos. I Should also talk about COPPA now. If you haven't looked up COPPA, look that up. I'm not going to talk about it except to say that if you're doing videos that are directed at kids, you have a real uphill battle. You probably shouldn't even get started trying to do YouTube videos that are directed at kids, because you're just not going to get any traction. And it's really sad because there are a lot of wonderful YouTube channels for kids that I like watching and I'd love for my kids to watch. And it's not YouTube's fault. It's the FTC trying to protect kids from predators and from people who are taking advantage of kids, trying to sell them stuff. So I understand, but you know, it's a sad situation, and I wouldn't recommend at this time trying to create a YouTube channel for kids. And that includes if you are a kid. Unfortunately, if you're a kid, then COPPA applies to you, and you're probably not going to make it, unfortunately. If you're doing some educational video, you might want to write a script. Or if you're doing, obviously, some sort of a play sort of thing, a show, obviously you want a script then. If you're doing a gaming video, you might not need a script at all. You just play the game and comment as you go. It is difficult. It's something you have to learn to comment as you play a game, because that's not something that we normally do. Normally you just are quiet while you play a game. It can be helpful if you get into collaborations, because then you can be talking to your friends and not really worrying about commentating as you go so much. That becomes part of the entertainment, talking with your friends while you play the game. But oftentimes I'll have an idea of what I want to convey, and instead of writing a script, I'll just jot some notes down, and then I'll kind of talk through it and maybe do several takes where I'm making it up as I go along, but I'll redo it until I think it sounds good. We'll talk a little bit about equipment. I've got a Samson Go mic. It's propped up on a tissue box. I use a Logitech HD Pro webcam C920. I have a green screen, of course. I use Camtasia for editing, OBS for recording. I'm not sure I would recommend Camtasia. There's some glitchy things about it. The Samson Go mic is also not the best mic, but it's affordable. The most expensive thing here is the Camtasia editing software is pricey. The lighting, I've got lights here. I got two of them off to the sides, and I've got another light, kind of a soft light right in front of me. I also get some natural lighting out the window during the day. I use an Electronics gaming laptop, and I have a second monitor over here on the right. You do need kind of a beefy computer in order to both play a game and record the game at the same time, so just keep that in mind. I also sometimes use Xbox Game Capture for PC just to capture the game footage, and then I can add in a face cam later or audio narration. My main takeaway here is that you don't have to spend a huge amount of money to make videos. The gaming computer is the most expensive piece in this, and then the video editing software is the second most expensive. I haven't found a really good free video editing software that I could recommend, although if you're using a Mac, I've heard that iMovie with Mac is a good video editing software that's free. Don't expect to make a lot of money on YouTube. If you want to actually make a go at YouTube, it might take you a year before you can monetize. I'm just approaching 500 subscribers, and I have yet to make a single dollar on YouTube. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. Scrapman is a YouTuber that I follow, and he started his channel exactly the same time that I started mine. And now he has 300,000 subscribers, I think. So obviously he's doing well. It helps if you don't have a family to take care of like I do. I can't just drop my regular paying job and devote 6 months of my time developing a YouTube channel with no income coming in. Part of success of YouTube is having some consistency and having your subscribers know when you're going to be producing videos. So like you're doing one video every Tuesday to be released. I have not been consistent because I do my videos when I can find the time to do it, so I don't have that consistency, unfortunately. So let's talk about copyright now. So let's start with images. So I've done a search for rainbow because I want to put a rainbow in my video, and I want to use one of these images. Most of these are going to be copyrighted, but if you click on Tools, Usage Rights, labeled for reuse, now these images probably are all, if not copyright free, at least free to use. But to make sure, you should click on the image and look at the source information. So this is on Wikipedia Commons, and you can follow it to Wikipedia Commons and see if there's any attribution required. So you may need to, and you probably should, credit the artist in this case, and the artist might have some particular words that they want for you to put in the video description to give them credit. Maybe there's even a link that they want you to put in there. And the same goes with audio. You cannot use popular commercial songs in your video. That's a good way to have your whole channel taken down. You need to use songs that are labeled for reuse. So you can go into your YouTube studio and go into the audio library right here, and that brings this up. And this is a place where I get my music from. So I can filter this by, say I want cinematic music that is funky and it's playing piano. So here's some funky cinematic piano music. And then I can listen to it. So you can download it here, and then this will tell you if you need to put a specific wording attribution in the video description. But I always credit the music that I use, whether it, even if it says you're free to use this song in any of your videos, I always give credit. Now there are a couple of exceptions to the copyright use. They call it fair use, and that is if you're doing a parody of, say, a song. It could also be that you're reviewing, so you're free to, if you're reviewing a song, you're free to play bits of the song as long as the purpose is for you to be doing the reviewing. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that YouTube still won't demonetize your channel or even take your channel completely down, or at least that video. You know, you can claim free use, but it's really hard to get in contact with someone at YouTube. It's like this faceless organization unless you're a giant YouTuber. So keep that in mind if you're going to use popular music, even if you think it's fair use. I keep a folder of music where I save all my music that I might use in future videos, and I have a Word document that I keep every time I download something. I'll put in the name of the song and who it's by, any attributes required, and also a little description of what that song kind of feels like. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff. I am going to wrap it up here. If you've liked this video, give me a like. I hope you got something out of it. Consider subscribing to my channel. In the next video, which you can click on right after this video is finished, it'll show up. It's going to be step-by-step how I make videos, start to finish. So check that out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Steve's Makerspace.